Session 3 of the Owl of Lysia, Cypher System live play on the Monty Games Twitch channel. Tonight we have an exciting episode for you. These heroes of ours are in kind of a sticky situation. They've agreed to help someone who is a little bit weird. First of all, how is everyone doing tonight?
Good. Excellent.
Great.
I come to play.
So, welcome to our game. Now, tonight, our players have opted to help somebody named Hollis in the attempt to get some information on a fellow person in this secret organization that he's a part of in this slaver ring. Now, these characters remind me again where we left off. We were in a boat, a rowboat, a tiny rowboat.
Some of us were in a boat.
Some of you were in a boat. That's right. One of you was swimming. Two of you were swimming. One of you, your breathing pipe broke. And
because I'm incapable of denying.
Yes. Then the other two were posing as these, it was the madame and the bounty hunter, the slave trader, carrying 4 slaves to what appears to be their new home in the Leviathan's Claw. Meanwhile, we have Trin, deep underwater, trying to find another way in, as our 3 heroes above desperately tried to hold together their very, very thinly veiled plan. So let's go around and introduce our characters once more for anybody who hasn't seen them yet. Let's start with Grant on the bottom. And let's... Grant on the bottom. Let's start off with a little bit about your character, and I'm specifically looking for some information about him. This is a tight spot, and I want to know if your character has ever been in a tight spot before, and how they managed to get out of it.
Well, Marsie, game master of this marvelous campaign, Fiddlix, the bounty hunting fox from Viat, has the 9th of the litter, the runt, who is blessed by the goddess of snow herself, the goddess of the hunt, has found himself in numerous tight spots. Usually it's when his mouth can't sign the checks that it's written. And this has happened on no less than 3 occasions. The first occasion, he was meeting with some nobility. He would like to tell you the name of the nation, but he really can't remember it because he had his eyes on nabbing 1, a pair of tapestries, 2, a matching dining set. Now, it's not that he's a thief by trade, it's just they were so beautiful. And he really felt that he had been working hard, they had been underpaying him as a retained bounty hunter of the nobility in the royal house. He was going to help himself to a little bit of tapestry, a little bit of match dining set, and he decided to sneak in late at night. Fox burglars do not make good cat burglars. And as he rappelled down the wall in the middle of the noonday and ripped the tapestry off and began scooping the goblets and chalices and plates off the table during the noon meal, everyone looked at him in awe and wonder and wanted an explanation. Now, Fiddlix, speaking very quickly and sharply and hushed, hatched the story of a great elaborate plot of how that tapestry was none other than a poison tapestry and also had eyes sewn inside of it, eyes of a dead god that to spy on the king, and that the food was obviously poisoned and all the utensils and silverware and cups had been contaminated. That was a little hard to believe and a little incredulous, and the Chamberlain to this day still doesn't believe him, but everybody else, every member of the court. And that's my story.
That was eerie.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, what was this house's name again?
House Vanderschnitzel.
House Vanderschnitzel. Okay.
Yeah.
Just writing it down for my reference.
Oh gosh.
Let's now go to Trin. Trin, tell us a little bit about your character, and I'd also like to hear about a time that you've gotten out of a tough spot.
All right. Trin was an orphan, and she grew up poor on the streets of Salil. But she makes her living by salvaging items from sunken ships and turning them into interesting inventions, which she sells around the city. So one time she got into a little bit... Well, really, she's just had this ongoing dispute with a rival inventor, Alston Chadwick III. This has been going on for quite a few years now. The guy thinks he can invent things, but he doesn't know what he's doing. So he really has been trying to push Trin out of business for years because everyone wants to buy Trin's inventions because they're clearly better. So in order to do this, he tried to convince a lot of the other nobles that Trin was a nuisance and a danger to the city due to the large number of explosions coming from her workshop. However, Trin went in person to the House of Lords and met with them and explained how she's actually quite a valuable asset to the city. She's sold a number of inventions to a lot of the other nobles over the years, and they know her. And she basically was just able to talk her way out of being expelled from the city.
Great. Let's go now to Grandma Butwali.
So Grandma Parvati Bhutwali is the prophet of a union of minor gods who are not powerful enough themselves to have a prophet. So they've unionized and designated Grandma Bhutwali as their prophet. And she's like, I guess I'll go along with it. And one of her early missions, so one of her patron deities is Balak, the god of children's birthday parties, right? And there was a local lord whose the mission was that the children are in danger. Someone is trying to assassinate the children, and so Grandma Bhutwali was sent to stop the assassination, because obviously if the kids are assassinated, the next birthday party cannot happen, right? Which would go against the god's teachings. But it was really interesting because it wasn't like a, assassin's cloak and dagger kind of thing. There were these visiting dignitaries from all these different island provinces and things, and they'd come, and Grandma Bhutwali had to play detective to try and figure out who was trying to carry out the assassination, and Grandma Bhutwali is not the most, she doesn't do things subtly. That's not her strength.
I would agree with that.
But she had to, she got coached from the lady of the house, and she had to organize a series of tea parties with all these visiting dignitaries, so she could sit with them and intimidate them into confessing or dropping clues that they had come for nefarious purposes. And it was one of the most difficult things in her life, because she had to be quiet, nice and sip tea while also being scary, and not just because she's used to just scolding people and browbeating them, but she had to pour tea for them and wait for them to slip up. And it was very, very hard, but she managed it in the end, and she credits her her superhuman patience that she somehow found in that moment, and her razor sharp, subtle insults. I'm thinking Downton Abbey style tea and insults.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, is there a particular, or maybe what's the most important noble house that was visiting for that tea party?
Yeah. So this house was not the assassins, but Grandma Bhutwali managed to tick them off a lot. Because she didn't use the right spoon to stir her tea with, and so they got very offended. They're like, who is this person who's having tea with us? And they were House Dudwali. They became really rich because of these dairy farms that they own, and they have a special breed of cow and sheep that produces milk that is rainbow colored. Like as it comes out, like there's multicolored, and even if you stir it, these layers of color are still in there. And so they became really wealthy through their rainbow colored milk.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, Kalia, or Leora, tell us a little bit about Kalia and...
So Callie is a pirate, and very early after she headed off into her pirating ways, she had started to gain a little bit of a reputation for, small, noble crimes. Freeing people from slavery, saving kittens that were going to be sold at market, these kinds of things. But she also, kept a legitimate business because she needed to make money. And so she had sort of leased a ship for a little while, and she was transporting a whole hold's worth of sheep from one part of Salil to the other. And she had a guy she needed to meet up with. She had been corresponding with him solely by writing under a false name, which she thought was very creative, which was Captain Blueground. And so she gets to the town where she's got to meet him up with the sheep, and one of her crew members who's been accompanying her comes back to the ship and explains to her that her picture is all over the town in wanted posters, and that the town, because there's a very heavy bounty on her head, is like watching the dock, really hoping that someone faced with that exact description will show up. But she also knows that she can't just send a crew member because, obviously he has to make sure that he's dealing with the same person. So there can be a comparison of handwriting, probably something, make sure that I really am who I say I am. So I'm very short. Tali's probably about 5'2". So I had a girlfriend at the time, still a member of my crew, Muriel, and I decided that the best plan was to bind up all my hair, to try and look like a dude, put it underneath my hat, put on some makeup that made it work, and then climb on my girlfriend's shoulders with a very, very long trench coat. And so then we were very tall. We were very, very tall, like 8 feet tall. But I was able to effectively, I have great balancing skills. This will come into effect later. I'm very, very good at it. And I was able to sign in and out as Captain Blueground, deliver my sheep, get my money, and get the hell out of there without anybody realizing who I was.
Okay, beautiful. Wonderful. Okay, so for that little bit of information, I'm going to give everybody an asset. It's going to be a blank asset, kind of like a blank check, but when you use it, it has to be in some way related to the story that you just told me. In exchange, I'm going to take some of these things and add it to my pile of possible intrusions.
Your tea party nemesis shows up and splashes tea in your face.
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, let me set the scene. Let's begin. Tonight, on this cool, breezy shoreline, you came into a trap, rode your way, and lied your way to the entrance guarded by roughly 10 people, although it's 10 people at any given time. For the moment, there are only 3. There are 2 on either side of the door, the people you've been communicating with, and one jolly man who seems to like the idea of hitting Kalia with what appears to be a very sparky spear.
I don't like that.
Water laps against the sides of the small docking area at either side. Your slaves, quote-unquote, incognito, shift uncomfortably. Tonight, tonight Skyro will be taking control of Hollis. And he is on the boat. He is with you in this crystal clear night sky, bound together by loose threads like fate hanging over you as stars. Trin, you find yourself underneath the water. You have a few options left, but the people on top, and there's no real way for you to know this without surfacing, listening in for a bit, dropping back down, doing whatever you want to do. people up top, you are more or less free to enter. You just know that Trin isn't with you yet.
So I motion to the people on the boat to like let's step onto shore. I don't say anything because I don't say anything. But I motion like imperiously, like let us step onto the shore.
Okay. Grandma gives you a fancy... Oh, I'm sorry, Madame. The Madame gives you a fancy and commanding signal to climb up onto the docks.
Cool.
Trin, you're still under the water. If I remember correctly, last week you failed to find a way in, but you did find scratches in the wall. Maybe this place wasn't always as deep as it is now. What would you like to do? How would you like to proceed? There's a couple things you can do. You can re-roll for this. I don't see a reason why not. I'm going to up the difficulty a little bit by 1 for this, if you do. But what would you like to do? What are you looking for?
I think I would like to re-roll to attempt to find an alternate way in.
Okay. So task difficulty last time was actually 4. It's going to be 5 now. And it's going to be an intellect check to investigate or perceive a way in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we can do.
Don't mind me. I'm just drinking an energy drink.
Okay. Yeah, so I got a 13 on that. That's not quite enough.
It's not quite enough. You do have experience points that you can use to reroll.
I would like to spend an XP to reroll. Am I also able to spend an intellect to lower the difficulty when I reroll?
Yes. Do you have intellect edge?
Oh, no. Do I have to have edge?
No. It just means it's going to be 3 points that you spend instead of anything else. So you spend 3 points.
Write that down real fast.
And you lower the difficulty down to 4.
Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, 19.
Ooh.
Yeah. Minor critical.
Yeah, you get a minor effect. We'll say as you are rooting through the bottom, there must be a way into here. This place is sunken. That means there's probably a sunken tunnel. Maybe there's an escape route or something. There has to be something. You keep looking through, and eventually you find an iron door. It's not rusted, curiously enough. It looks to be in very good condition. Probably maybe too good of a condition. And it swings open easily, revealing a corridor underwater that leads inside. And for your minor, we'll say that I can give you a choice. If you like something better than this, you let me know. But for your minor, the inside of the corridor is actually curved upward a little bit. It creates a pocket of air that you can use to take a breath as you explore.
All right, excellent. I would like to swim into this tunnel and see where it takes me.
Okay. You swim into the tunnel, into what is very much a darker place. Meanwhile, our 3 in the boat, you are helped out. They don't look keen on helping you, but they kind of bully each other into helping you out of the boat.
I seriously hold out a hand as though I'm expecting them to help.
Yeah. They seem uncomfortable with it, but they follow through because you all have been doing.
The first time.
Yeah, this is the first time this has happened to them, but they're falling for the rouge. So they grab you by the hand and lift you up. As they do, one of them just kind of dully looks over your tattoos, and he like this sly grin comes across his face as he sees your multiple white tattoos on your skin.
I whisper to my companion. I whisper to Fidelix to tell them that if they keep gazing at me lustfully, their eyes will be clawed out of their face.
Listen, bros, you keep undressing her with your eyes, I'll gut every single one of you.
Choices.
That was a character choice. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. They're already taken by the ruse. This guy's face suddenly turns, it contorts. He's not so much outwardly afraid, though you suspect he might be. He just kind of looks angry that you called him out.
Wink. I give him a wink.
Now he's very confused. But
Fidelix's primary way of interacting is just confusing people enough that they go along with it.
Yeah. Kalia, you find a ladder up. They have a ladder attached to the dock that you're able to climb up. You're sopping wet, dripping everywhere.
Are any of these guys looking like leaders? Or are they all pretty much the same?
They're all pretty much the same. Only the two who are guarding the door have any real rhyme or reason to the way that they're dressed. The rest are more piecemeal, but they are still all wearing the tabard of the house with the symbol of the house Akankade on it.
Where's the one? I would like to. I have this designation power that allows me to designate people as innocent or guilty.
Yes.
I'm going to designate, even though, I'm not going to metagame here. I think that the logical person that Kalia would be most angry at right now is the one who, threw a friggin' stabby thing at her last
lightning stab.
Yeah.
So she's going to designate him as guilty.
Okay.
Well, he is. He did a bad thing. He is now guilty.
Which I think in game basically manifests as her
how does that manifest?
Anime style, everything stops and there's a slash cut and a glare.
Beautiful, very cinematic.
Perfect.
Yep. You can see him staring at you, and you kind of glean immediately that he doesn't think he did much wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But he's wrong. I mean, he's wrong. Sometimes people are just wrong.
It's true.
So I whisper to Fidelix, because remember, I don't deign to speak to these people in this persona of the Madame. I whisper to Fidelix to tell them, well, aren't you taking us inside? What are you just standing here for?
We need to be shown to where we need to go. That's what the madam says. And we don't have much time to kill, so can we pick it up, please? Just a little bit. I don't mean to be rude, but we got schedules to keep.
All right. The guard nods and then goes to your rowboat where Dimitri and the rest of the volunteers are looking rather uncomfortable. And he reaches down and starts pulling them out of the boat with the assistance of the man who stabbed at you, Kalia.
I would like to. This is risky, guys. Do we want to make our move now? Because I'm thinking I can make it look like an accident that I accidentally pushed this guy into the water.
I've already anime smash cut my angry guy. So
I want to fake he tripped on one of my tails and be like, "Whoa, hey man, watch the tails!" And then as I turn around, he goes spinning in.
It's your choice.
I'm making the choice. I'm doing
Let's do it.
Okay.
Given that in character, we would have no way to know or stop you from making it.
Yeah, it's going to kind of get on my tails, all five of them in the way. It's like, whoa, hey, man.
Can we have a surprise round, though?
Yeah, you can. And tell you what, this guy is not aware. So you have the surprise round on him. The difficulty for this task is only going to be a 1. So if you'd like to spend effort, it just happens.
No, I'm going to roll. So,
that never goes bad.
I would like to think that once we know Fidelix really well, he can sign language us basic things with his multiple tails.
Don't forget the tail signals.
I can definitely signal Grandma with my tails. We stayed up for hours practicing it. She's like, "Can you do a split into this?" Yeah, I can. Can you do one of these? Yeah. What about YMCA? Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
We've got a couple. Oh, geez, that's canon now.
No, it's done. It's done. It's a thing.
What kind of check would you like me to make?
It depends. Are you tripping him or pushing him by force? What is the maneuver you're using?
It's essentially a trip. It's mostly in the legs, foot positioning, and tail positioning, and me kind of moving sporadically with my hips, almost like hip checking him like a hockey player off.
I'll let you choose between might or speed for that. I could see it's mostly leverage on the part of you, but not necessarily brute force.
I ain't good at any of them, so I'm gonna go with speed.
Okay.
Success. I got a 12.
Nice. Your foxy foot slips under his, and your hips move in just the right way to send that man careening into the water with a splash. The guard who had stabbed you previously, Kalia, looks at him, confused, but not necessarily. He's shocked. And the other one at the door still, he looks like he's getting ready to fight.
Help him out! Help him out! I'm like screaming now. You got a man down in there.
Yep, go ahead and roll initiative for me.
I have inability in initiative. What does that mean?
-3.
Cool.
Yep. Just whatever your roll is, subtract 3 from it.
Bhutwali rolled a 1.
Ooh.
All right. Well, I rolled an 18, so I've got a 15.
1.
I got a 14.
Hollis got a 7.
Thank you. Hollis got a 7. And I'm sorry, what did Leora roll again?
I actually rolled an 18, so I've got a 15.
Nice. Okay, Kalia. 15. And Fiddlix, what did you roll?
14.
14. Great. Okay. And Hollis rolled a 7. So everybody gets to go before the guards do, except for Grandma Budwali.
I'm too busy madaming over them.
Yes, you are. So we'll start with Kalia.
All right. I want to stab the bad guy.
Okay. I think we all want to stab the bad guy. Which bad guy would you like to stab in particular? The one that...
What who stabbed me?
That makes sense to me. All right. And you get special abilities against him because you've already marked him as guilty.
Decreased by 1. So
Great.
What are we looking at?
We are looking at a difficulty 2.
Cool. And I'm stabbing with a light weapon. Mm-hmm. You told me how this worked, and then I forgot. So, all right. Well, I'll roll it, and then we'll go from there. So, difficulty 2, is that including my minus or not?
That is including.
Sorry.
Oh,
is that like the base?
That's the base. That's the base I'm giving you.
Has it designated the guy, or is that?
That is the base I'm giving you. Actually, I think because they're. I think your task difficulty, because you're using a light weapon, goes down to 1, and because you marked him as guilty, it goes to 0. I think you hit him automatically.
Yay!
Kalia is so skilled with her dagger.
When I'm mad at people, I just stab them all the time and never miss.
And this is one of the run-of-the-mill guards. He seems to be wearing armor, but yours just... your dagger pierces him effortlessly, so it's going to be 1 point of damage. Now, here's the thing: we're using the some of the optional rules. So, if you'd like to roll on the idea that you still might get a critical, you can.
Oh, good point.
Yep. There's a chance that you might roll a 1 though and get an intrusion. So that's the.
I rolled an 18.
Nice. So
that's
fine. Critical.
Yep. So you get 2 extra points of damage, which is nice. So you get 3 in total.
Nicely done. Kalia's so good with those daggers. I'm starting to respect her a little bit more.
Yeah, I tend to think that I'm very much like a.
Okay. Wonderful. Let's go to Fiddlix. Fiddlix, you're standing over this guard, pleading for the other one to help as Kalia goes up and just shanks the guard, no pretenses, just shanks the guard that attempted to stab her with his spear.
I'm gonna attempt to glaive his head clean off. Down there. So I'll make a roll.
Okay. Actually, you don't need to roll unless you want to. You have the upper. You're above him.
I have the high ground.
Yeah, you have the high ground, and you are. And he's in water, which increases his difficulty. So you can roll if you want to, on the off chance that you'll get a critical.
Yeah, and the off chance that you get an intrusion, because those are fun.
Those are fun.
I got a 14.
Nice. So yeah, you slice into him. How much damage does your glaive do?
4.
Great.
It's a medium weapon.
So yeah, you pierce, and as you do your glaive, you hear it. You hear the ping off of the armor, and it's maybe not as effective as you thought it would be. So let's go now to Hollis.
Okay.
What would Hollis like
so
to
let's
do?
see. Hollis got off the boat, right? Or is he still on?
He would have gotten off the boat unless you want to keep him on with the
All right,
with the
and
people.
How many people are on the docks?
Well, now there's 2, and there's definitely one in the water.
Yeah. So Hollis he's gonna whip out his short sword that he wears on his hip, and he's gonna make a slash for one of the guards that is thus far unwounded.
Okay. The only one who is unwounded at this point is the one directly in front of the door now, who looks very alarmed at this situation is going down.
Yeah, in that case, Hollis is just gonna straight up charge with his sword and try to stab the dude in the stomach.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a difficulty, and your task for this one is going to... It's going to be 2.
All right. Oh, and Hollis rolled a 2.
Oh, yeah, the guard, as Hollis is coming forward, takes his own sword. It's a more broad and Roman style sword, and slashes it downward in a flourish away from him. And that's going to be the guard's turn. So we'll just start at the top. Guy in the water, he's going to start screaming for help from the other guards in the area, screaming probably one of their code words. What should the code word be?
Do we ask the audience?
Yeah. What should the code word be for these awful people running this awful place in Leviathan's Claw? That there's a group of insurgents, I suppose, trying to break in.
All right. Twitch chat, don't fail us now.
Ethan, come up with a good one. I see you in there.
Go.
Who else is in there? Is WebDM Jim in there? WebDM Jim, I see you're still in there. Take us off mute. Start talking.
Mango!
What else do we got?
All right.
Yeah, this guy's screaming mango.
Mango.
Yeah, different than screaming murder, but not by much.
Fish bones in the gum.
Yep. And he is going to attempt to. He's not going to go immediately up the ladder because it's very close to where Fiddlix is with his long glaive. He is instead going to. He's attempting to swim out a little bit. Perhaps there's another way in that he knows about, but it seems to be giving him some difficulty swimming in this armor. So, Kalia, the guard next to you, is going to attempt to shove you into the water.
That's the one I don't like.
That's
right?
the one you definitely don't like.
His name's Biff. He's gonna die.
Okay, this guard is named Biff. It's like he's wearing this very nice crocheted shirt, and it's like definitely made with love, and there's like a little thing like on his tag that you see, and his name is Biff.
Well, then I guess he shouldn't have attacked me.
Probably not. Biff is not the brightest in the bunch, but he is attempting to push you into the water. So go ahead and roll me your choice if you want to dodge out of the way or attempt to wrestle him back. It's going to be a difficulty 3.
Okay, I'm gonna
defense roll.
Okay, help. Remind me how those work.
It's the same thing as a task, as a check.
Okay.
So it's going to be either based out of your might or speed. Right now, he's just trying to push you in.
Okay, it's based on my speed, so I got a 4.
Ooh, yep. You're
Wait. I would like to use my asset because I am very balanced.
Ooh, you are very balanced.
I am very balanced, and I was very good at balancing on top of Muriel's shoulders. And similarly, I'm very good at balancing here.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So he attempts to push you back, and you start getting flashbacks to that day when you were on the docks once more, attempting to evade arrest. And that sort of mental fervor allows you to sidestep out of the way.
I'm just trying to keep my footing.
Great.
I mean, ideally, I would keep my footing and he would fall in because he was trying to push me and I stepped out of the way. But
beautiful.
That's what I would like.
This guard in front of Hollis is going to go for his throat, essentially. So what I need from you, we're running NPCs, and that's okay. Go ahead and roll me a defense roll. It's going to be difficulty 3.
Wait, sorry, who's rolling this?
That's going to be toward Hollis.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally spaced. My bad.
You're used to trends, so.
Yeah. So anyway, Hollis rolled a 9.
Ooh, nice. Barely beats it. He sidesteps out of the way. Hollis would get the impression that because he does certain mental things, these guys are maybe hopped up on some type of chemical that's making them more aggressive.
So fun.
And he kind of gleans that. So let's go now to Grandma. Grandma.
So
Stuff's
there
happening.
are 3 of them, and because I heard the person scream mango, which I assume is a code.
It must be.
Like, do I see others from a distance coming or something?
You can hear the rallying cries begin to call.
Uh-oh. And do the ones on our front, do they have electric spears?
They all have spears with similar encasings.
Okay, so I'm going to throw off my hood in a very dramatic fashion. Let that be known. And from my like big bun, which is stuffed with like ornaments, I pull out a long, slim tube that I break in half, and this cloud of smoke that smells like really funky blue cheese fills the area, and all creatures in immediate range gain a +5 armor against electricity for 1 hour.
Beautiful. It's very useful.
This is my null field Cypher. Note canon: null field smell like blue cheese.
Oh.
Deal with it.
Delicious.
Beautiful.
Buffalo wings.
Okay. Back to the top. Kalia.
Ooh. I want to stab Biff again. I don't like Biff. I'd like Biff to be dead now. So I'll make my roll.
Go ahead.
That's an 8.
8 is, you still connect because you've got the special things. So you do 1 point of damage.
Cool.
To him this time. Beautiful. Fiddlix. You're standing over and watching this guy swim away and shouting for his friends.
How far away is he from me?
At this point, he's probably swam about 5 feet from where he was, give or take, but it's about 5 feet down as well. So he's a good 10 feet diagonal distance, maybe a little less. Probably.
All right.
Mathematically a little less.
I'm retrieving from my belt a bladed scarab with extremely sharp wings, and this is my scarab shuriken, and I'm going to aim for the vital part of his neck and scarab him as he attempts to get away as I throw with deadly accuracy.
I love your insectile shuriken.
I'm glad you do. Otherwise, I would be like, oh man, I got to reskin it again. We can't all have blue cheese knoll fields.
There's something like that in Altered Carbon, and I don't know if anyone watches it, but it's super creepy. I'm into this. This is very
I'm just excited that people are using their foci. Please tell me what happens.
Okay, so I got a 15 to hit.
Oh, excellent. Yep, you definitely hit, and that's a light weapon?
Yes, but it does 4 damage because I have throw with deadly accuracy.
Nice.
Ooh.
So yeah, your throwing scarab finds itself cutting into his neck, right about there. He's still alive, and he seems very surprised that he is as this occurs. We'll say that cuts off the screaming, probably. Well, it's a different scream now. So it changes from
It's more like Welsh singing at this point.
it changes from like mango, mango, mango to Wilhelm scream very quickly.
Yes, obviously.
Yep. So that's going to make it Hollis's turn.
All right. Hollis is going to try to attack the door guard again. This time he's going to try making a slash for the guy's neck.
Okay.
Since the gut wound didn't work out so well. And he only rolled a 4. He must be having an off day.
He is having a very off day. It's probably the mustache throwing him off. This is not how he normally goes out in public. He attempts an attack again, and the guard is having none of it, batting it away with his own sword. That makes it back to the guards now. At this point, you can start hearing the footfalls of a few more guards heading toward you. If somebody could roll me a number, we'll discover how many guards are coming to aid, and we'll call it.
Got a 1 on a d6.
Nice, thank you. So, yeah, just one so far. They're just making sure maybe this is.
Just that other dude.
Yeah, no, I mean they're kind of the jocks of this place, so maybe this happens quite a bit. They seem to be not very professional. So you have one guard coming, but this one has a crossbow. Yep. And he's going to take his aim at the most available target. So we have... I'm going to say that's Kalia.
Yeah.
Kalia, you're the most available. And I only say this because you're like a rainbow of of colors. It's like a beacon and a target that says hit me. But also you're small and closest to him on the side of the docks. So
I get hit a lot.
Yeah.
It happens.
So he loads up his crossbow, takes an aim, and fires. Go ahead and roll me a speed defense roll, please.
9.
Ooh. Yep, you
9.
Describe for me how you get out of the way as you're already in combat with this other guard. Flavor
So
for
I'm
me.
like at this point, I stabbed Biff again, and now I'm just punching him in the face. I don't need it to do damage. I just want to be able to punch him in the face. But I look up and I see the crossbow, and I sort of just like stop for a second and like hit the deck.
Yep.
And then presumably we'll get back up and grab him to pummel him in the face.
Yeah, as you're fighting, you go to punch, you look over, and then the camera cuts to the back of the arrow as it's whizzing in the air towards you, and then you duck, and it goes and hits the side of the rock structures surrounding the place and bounces off with a plink.
Yeah.
Next guard, the one in the water. At this point, he's going to dive underneath, and you don't see much of him after that. The guard in combat with you, Kalia.
Biff.
Yes, Biff. Biff. Biff is going to attempt to push you once more into the. Actually, no. Biff isn't going to do that. He likes numbers. He likes strength in numbers. He's actually going to withdraw from you and move. Yeah, he's going to move a short distance to close in with the guy with the crossbow and form numbers. And the guy at the door is going to take a look at the situation. He's going to bite his lip, and he's also going to move. This time going into the door, and then he's going to close it from the inside and attempt to lock it. Now, usually moving doesn't provoke any sort of free actions like attacking. However, this is trying to manipulate an object, so Hollis has the chance to stop him before he goes in and locks everyone out and alerts, his boss and everyone. Sure. So, Skyra, what does Hollis do as soon as this guy goes for a retreat?
So Hollis is actually going to, with his sword out, attempt to barrel into the guy so that he can also be on the inside of the door / knock the guard away from the door at the same time. And maybe stab him, maybe not. We'll see if he
Wow, Hollis is not messing around.
Okay.
It's like full body football player time.
Okay, make me a might roll.
Okay.
Hollis is,
19.
Ooh, yep.
Minor critical again.
Yep, he does that. It's going to do an additional 3 damage to this guy. And then we'll say that he will manage to knock him back away from the door so that he'd have to actually close in again to be able to get in contact with it. But Hollis finds himself on the inside of the door.
Excellent.
Great.
Sure.
Inside, it smells very clean. This guy stumbles backward in front of Hollis and looks up at the walls. They're very slick, made of bedrock that has been shaven down. This place is built directly into the bedrock of the actual mountain of this island itself. There are torches lining the whole way down. It just seems to be a very long corridor in front of you, ending in a doorway, a big heavy wooden door at the end of the hall. But let's go back first because we have Grandma next in line for initiative.
Yeah, so the one of them retreated to get support from the crossbow guy, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So the crossbow guy is scary. How far is he? An immediate distance from me?
No. At this point, he's going to be roughly 25 feet away from you.
Okay, so I was gonna intimidate him, but he's too far away. So instead, I am going to and the guy Hollis pushed the guy away. Is he getting up, or is he just far away? Is he pushed away or something?
He's pushed away. If it had been a 20, he would have been knocked prone, but he is pushed away.
So I serve a situation. No one's really close to me, which is the way I like it, because I'm an old woman. Show me compassion. But I see the crossbow guy is dangerous. Mm-hmm. So I mutter a prayer to Dund, the god of minor law enforcement, and I point my clawed finger gently at the guy, saying that the neighborhood watch has probably seen you do something bad. You have to suffer for that. Which is one of the curses of the god of minor law enforcement. And that is my onslaught.
Okay.
And I have 2 forms of onslaught, a physical and a mental. The mental one ignores armor. The physical one does 4 damage, but I think they're wearing heavy. Is the crossbow guy wearing heavy armor, or is he light armor?
He's wearing light armor.
Okay, so in that case, I'm gonna do a physical onslaught, which is force damage, to the blessing.
Sorry, Shreng, you're.
It cost me because.
Sorry, Shreng, you're breaking up for me.
We're losing him.
We're losing him.
Oh no.
So,
Better?
Ish.
Turning all my devices off.
So this is what happens.
Am I back?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This is what happens when Grandma uses psychic powers.
Every device.
It shorts out the whole thing.
Yep.
I shove him with force. And I'm gonna roll the cock edge, and I rolled an
8.
8.
Okay, great. So yeah, you hit with that. You can see his armor bend in toward his chest, and you can hear an audible "Ugh" as your onslaught finds purchase.
That's damage normally.
Yes.
Nice. Feel the eye of the
Oh no.
god of men.
We're having some technical difficulties with Grandma. That's okay.
Grandma's buffering again.
Yeah, Grandma is buffering. So we'll go now to Leora. We're at the top of the round again. Leora left.
She turned invisible.
It's okay.
She's just wearing her invisibility cloak.
I'm a human. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hi.
Hello. Okay. So it's your turn to catch you up just a little bit. Guards are retreating in various ways, trying to form numbers and come back a little stronger. They were not expecting this from this tiny rowboat. One of the guards has attempted to go inside. Hollis has bull rushed him in, and Grandma is onslaughting from afar. The gentleman with the crossbow.
I would like to, so I'm going to do my fleet of foot action, which is if I succeed on a speed 6 roll, speed difficulty 2 roll, I can move and attack in the same round, which is cool, so that I can kill Biff. That's the goal. I want to be clear.
Of course.
I got a 7, so I did succeed, and then I would like to attack Biff. I'll roll to see if I crit.
Yep.
Which I do.
Ooh, what'd you roll?
With a 19.
Ooh.
So that's cool. Yeah, so I deal...
Exactly. Yeah, you deal 4 more points of damage, which is exactly what you need to murder this guy. And we'll say as you...
Am I capable of doing non-lethal? Is this a choice? Is it a choice in Cypher to do non-lethal?
Yeah. If you'd like, you can hit him with your pommel, and I don't know what you want for your minor success, your minor crit here, but I'm going to recommend maybe he's got a bag of like a money bag on his belt that you could probably just kind of slit and take with you.
Cool. I in general, I don't do. I try to debilitate when I can. So
Okay.
He's out.
Not a problem.
Dead.
Not a problem. Yeah, you don't have to kill. So yeah, you can hit him with the hilt of the pommel of your dagger, and then take his money if you want for your minor action. If you have another idea in mind.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm also gonna yell at him. Slaving is bad. Stop it.
I'm sure he'll retain that information. So yeah, you knock him out and then run toward the entrance where Hollis is. Wonderful. Yeah. You will get there with your short movement. Fiddlix?
And so Mr. Man went disappearing underwater,
yes,
right?
he did.
And there's no, like, dead man float coming up anytime soon, right? Not in the past round?
No.
Nope.
All right, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my force screen projector, except it's not going to be up and down. It's going to spread out across the top of the water. So when he comes up for air, he can't get up. He can't get up that ladder. He's going to die.
Oh, Fiddlix, you're such an animal. That is sadness. Okay. So you put down your force field. You said it was right on top of the water?
Yeah, it's just going to spread out 20 feet. It's just going to be like, oh man, this is like Tom Cruise in the movie Legend. He's not going to be able to get up.
Yeah. How much damage does it do to
I don't know, but it's a level 9. It just creates a 20 by 20 foot like immobile screen of force.
I believe when it goes through things, it does 9 points of damage. Your rowboat.
It's on top of the surface of the water.
And so is the rowboat, but also partially underneath. So yeah. So your rowboat just starts disintegrating. The people inside of it are okay because they've got but it just incinerates around them with a really loud crack. But the benches.
Wow. I didn't realize it did that. I should have used this to cut a bunch of guys in half.
Right? The benches that they're sitting on just clatter with their butts hitting.
Yeah, and that's what Fiddlex like. I'm gonna assume now that I'm taken with like. Because if I'm gonna fail big. Like just the lure of the animal gets me now, and I'm just and like I'm just gonna total fox out, and like my tails get all bushy, and I'm gonna start hopping around. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, this is terrifying.
Nice.
But you've also kind of created like a good platform for the people in the boat to walk across to actually get on, especially because they're still shackled up. Well, one of them is like completely shackled, and the other three are just like, awesome, and they start going, yeah. The other three are like, yeah, and Dimitri's like, and he just gives you this death glare because he seems to know exactly what's going on. At this point, he didn't before, but now he does.
Yeah.
Okay, so they all clamber up onto the docks with you, and Hollis, it's his turn. He's got this guard pushed back, and it's a little unclear what the guy's plan is now.
Yeah, so Hollis is still attempting to debilitate this guard. He doesn't want this guard to be able to lock everyone else out of the keep, so he's gonna make another sword attack, trying to go in and make a gut slash. And he got a 12 for his attack.
Ooh, he hits. Great. I believe he does 3 damage on a hit. Beautiful. He can knock this guy out at this point or kill him.
Yeah, he can. He's just gonna knock the guy out because, like, might as well.
Okay. Yep. He can do that. It probably would look bad for him to leave a blood trail anyway, which makes sense. At this point, it's the guards' turns. There's no disturbance on the top of the water. Go figure. There's actually nothing on the top of the water. It's just a sheen, a really terrifying sheen of nothing. The other guard with the crossbow. See, Kalia ran into the building. Hollis ran into the building. Fiddlex is doing disturbing Cypher things, and Grandma just
pointed at the guard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He can easily make the connection that you attacked him, and he is going to attack you back. So roll.
What a rude boy!
Roll me a speed defense roll. Test difficulty for this.
16.
Ooh. Yep. It just, well, actually, you describe. Does he just miss, or do you do something to
It
help
gets
him out?
caught in one of my dangly hair ornaments.
This is not very appeasing to the gods. Go figure.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a blessing of the gods. They caught the crossbow bolt for me.
Beautiful.
Are you going to wear it as an ornament now? Just like
Yes.
behind
Beautiful.
your ear like a pencil?
Cypher that I broke that I've been wearing for a while. I'm going to put the crossbow bolt in my hair.
Yes!
Excellent. The guy to the side of the man wielding the crossbow is going to call back once more for reinforcements that they're getting into the building, and he's going to grab his spear and start booking it back even further. There's probably another way in, and it might be a loss for them to continue fighting further. That's going to make it Bootwally's turn.
So I'm worried about this guard going back further and like doing stuff. Is he wearing any metal on him?
Yes, he would be. His piecemeal armor has plenty of metal on it. He's holding the crossbow, which is partially metal.
Okay, so Trin
Might
knows
have
exactly
jangles.
what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
Because Trin gave me a present last time, which is a magnetic attack drill.
Cool.
So I'm going. Can Trin describe what it looks like?
Yeah, so it's it looks kind of rusty. It's made out of some metal that Trin salvaged off of a ship, and it's got these big clamp arms on it with big magnets on it and a big corkscrew in the middle that probably was intended to like open corks on large casks, but in fact it's now going to be used to attack.
No, so I remove it from my robes and I start cranking it, the corkscrew part, and then I open the catchment like Trin. Meditrina is very skilled with her inventions, I say as I'm like cranking this thing, and I release it, so it will like shoot out chasing him, and my attack to hit him if he's wearing metal is one step easier.
Cool.
Okay.
So, and it will do 4 damage for 1 round. So it'll just do 4 damage and ignores armor. It ignores any armor.
Great. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
And I rolled a 9.
That'll hit.
And it's 1. So, yeah. So this this rusty drill like flies through the air, honing in on his like metal and starts drilling.
Cyphers are the best.
Yeah,
I just love using them in combat. I'm like,
they are. Yeah, you can hear like his blood curdling scream as this thing starts drilling into his back.
and I'm like, that's what you get for being a naughty boy.
Oh, no love here. No love here. Okay, so you all can consider yourselves basically out of combat at this point.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I want to stand out on the platform and see if I can see Mr. Man poking around down there.
How many rounds was that? Like 3 or 4?
Yeah, just about.
I just always like to remind myself cinematically that a round is between 6 and 10 seconds.
Just
There's just that moment of like, oh.
Yeah, it's just about. Some things might take a little bit longer. The rule of thumb in this system is by logic and not necessarily by consistency, regardless of what you're doing.
That makes sense. It happened fast, though. That's what I'm saying.
It did. Well, I mean, if it didn't happen fast, that might have gotten much worse.
It could have gone very badly.
It could have gone very badly.
Okay, well, since we're out of combat, Hollis is gonna search the guard that he just knocked out to see if he's got any keys or other useful items on him.
Yeah. You easily find the keys on him, his weapons, a few bags. If you'd like to, when I say bags, pouches of things that sound like gold or trinkets. If you'd like to search further for anything hidden, that will require a check. And
how much gold are we talking from Biff here?
From Biff, you open it up, count it out. He's got about 2 moon in there. So 200 stars is pretty good.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And yeah, Hollis is going to roll to... Oh, he only rolled a 2, so I guess he didn't search very thoroughly.
Yep. Fiddlix, you can see the outline of the guard down there. It strikes you that this force field probably killed this guy as well.
All right, I kind of want to... humor me like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I need to doff my armor and kind of get down there and pull my scarab out of his mouth. Give me a few minutes.
Yeah, you might need your precious item back, but it's a quality of time. So if you'd like to absolutely get it back, how long does the force field last? 9 minutes. You might not have.
No, it lasts an hour.
It lasts an hour. You might not have an hour before these guards come back in full force.
No, I assume they will, but I should be able to doff my armor in like a minute or two. It'll probably take about 10 minutes to put back on. So they're probably coming back in like 8 or 9 minutes. I'm going to risk doing it with the armor on. Shouldn't be too much.
Okay, sounds good.
I can help him put it on. I'm very good at clothing all my grandchildren. So
Thank you, Grandma.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I also search bodies? I feel like that's kind of Kalia's jam.
Of course you can. Which body would you like to search?
I've got Biff already. Did we search Crossbowman?
No, not yet. Crossbowman actually got away.
Oh, right. Crossbowman got away. Who's left?
Maybe we should disguise as the guards. We should dress up like.
That is not a terrible idea.
Yeah, you've got Biff. You've got the guy who died in water, maybe drowned, maybe didn't, not sure. And then you've got the unconscious guard in the actual hallway, but all the other ones got away.
I'll search the dude in the hallway.
Okay.
Why not? I got a 7.
For 7, you take a look at his body. Other than a few tattoos that identify him to you as the Mercenary Guild, he's got nothing of value. Probably a Celilian home Mercenary Guild.
I'd like to take his belt so that when he stands up, his pants fall off.
Oh,
that is what I want to do.
Oh, Kalia.
What I want to do.
Okay. And then Fiddlix, in order to swim down, you don't even need to make a check. The only real consideration is that it's very dark outside. So when you go down, it's just going to be slightly more difficult than usual to find this thing. As soon as this guy stopped swimming, he sank straight to the bottom. So roll me an intellect-based check. It's going to be difficulty 4.
All right, and I'm going to use a little bit from my pool. I'm going to use effort. So difficulty 4, effort 2, and let's set this up right. Bring up my little window for the chat or the viewers, and intellect check. Hit the button. I hope that worked. I got a 16.
Ooh, yep. You retrieve your scarab.
Oh, yes, and he would have had so many stories to tell. Just take it. Yes, and then I return up, shake myself off, get on all fours, shake, and then prepare for battle.
Excellent. Okay. So as you're doing this and you start to don your armor, you can start hearing with your fox ears, and especially outside. This place is very. What's the word I want to use here? Reverby, I guess. Yeah, you can hear plenty of echoes just bouncing off everywhere. You start hearing code words being spun around in a far distance.
Uh-oh. Well, we should turn to Hollis and be like, what do you want to do next? Like, now, young man, what do you think you need to do next to continue with this mission?
Hollis likes the idea of guising as one of the guards, and then he looks at Fiddlix and says, maybe try not to stab people when we're already winning next time.
Look, I appreciate the feedback, and you do you. And I don't tell you how to
you're good, man.
guy. You don't tell me how to fox.
Okay.
You don't tell me how to fox.
Well, I just need you to know that you asked me what I want you to do. So That's what I want you to do.
Talia comes around and puts her arm around Fiddlix and is like, I understand, man. You gotta stab or you gotta stab. I get it.
It's cool. Next time I'll just stand around like Hollis.
You gotta stab who you gotta stab.
All right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't choose the game. The game chose me.
Beautiful. But time is of the essence, and they're going to be looking for you. You have survivors with fairly good ideas of what you look like.
True.
Should we just run inside?
I mean, how big is this place? Like, are we walking, like, we've now got the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any sense of whether, like, is it just like a hallway that leads to one big room? Are there like things branching off? Like, is there any way to assess like how
you are aware because you sent out Jasek's last session to do some reconnaissance. So on the other side of the island is another way into this place. You know that at least this part of this what you gauge to be the southeastern side of it is at least connected. It might be as big as half a mile.
Ooh, okay. So this place is big. I mean, I'm all for the dressing up as guards part. I'm saying this in character. I look at Fiddlix. Are there any fox guards? I feel like the rest of, like, I mean, Grandma and I are Theron, and all Theron kind of...
They'll never
other
see
Theron.
me. And then I want to kind of like slip away into the shadows. They'll never see me coming.
Gotcha. Is that, like, true? Like, are you actually good at stealth, or are you just hiding in the corner going...
They'll never know.
All of his tails.
Those are his tails, by the way, not his hands.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fiddlix wants to try to hide.
Okay. And so where would you like to hide? What's the end goal? To what end do you want to hide?
To the end goal would be so I can solid snake a fool. I want to be up against the wall, and as they come around, be like, "Ta-da, I'm a fox!" Ta-da-da-da.
To stab.
Right.
Maybe they'll come. They'll see their own people dressed up as guards, and be like, "Oh, maybe they beat them," and then like go up, and then I can from behind.
Sure.
It's possible.
I'm shorter than the rest of the party, probably. I'm not very tall. I'm little.
I actually have never asked, like, are you fox-sized or are you people-sized?
I'm probably between, he would probably tell you he's 5'1", but he's probably more like 4'8". It's kind of like,
Okay.
I tell people I'm 5'10", but I'm like 5'8". Sorry,
Cool.
Chip.
Little bigger than a fox. Let's cut to Trin briefly. Trin's been swimming down this very, very dark corridor with several air bubbles to keep her breathing. Eventually, you come to this underwater area, kind of like a well, I would say, but it's a saltwater well leading into a cavern. And this cavern seems to be some sort of old escape route. And as you gaze around the room, you inherently feel a sense of home here. The walls are black and glisten against... there's like a faint light source that you note. Very, very small pinholes in the quote-unquote ceiling of this place. You note them amongst various stalactites as this light shimmers down through this very porous rock. The overall effect is rather pleasant to you. You've been in a few caves. But if you'd like to take a look around, here is the place to do it. The ceiling rises above the water, roughly about 20 feet, and there's a bunch of rocky structures along what would be the shore of this cave.
Yeah, so Trin's definitely gonna explore around this cave a little bit. She's still looking for ways into the passage, but she also just really likes caves, so she might get a little distracted, rub her hand along the wall just because it feels really nice to be in a really awesome cavern like that.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice. But what would you like to do?
So she's actually got a small glowing device in one of her pouches. She's gonna pull that out to help light the cave so she can see better.
Okay.
And she's gonna try to look for passages that look like they might be ways into the cave.
Beautiful. As you do that and the light emanates from this globe, you get this sudden and splashing vision of the walls in full color and light as this very, very prominent feature carved out of the bedrock in front of you strikes you as canon design. This is a place built by demons.
Whoa!
Wow, Tannin statues in Salil. That is highly unusual.
It's incredibly unusual. This looks like some sort of haven for them. But it's weird considering the place, of course.
It might be useful for third parties as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remind me why it would be so unusual in Salil as opposed to anywhere else?
There's no gate to hell here.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
and there are gates to hell other places.
Yes, there are.
Cool.
It's
And
about as
Trin and
far
Grandma
away
are both
from the gates of hell as you can get.
Trin and Grandma are both part demon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so can Trin tell, how long ago how long this statue in place has been there, or if it's been visited recently?
Make me an intellect check to inspect the rock in the area around it. You can use perception if you have anything that that helps you identify materials. That might also help you.
I do have a master identifier trait. Would that be helpful for that?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And only a 4.
Ooh, you aren't really sure. Your parents were Tannin, but you kind of didn't know them very long.
Yeah, I was 5 when their ship disappeared.
Yeah.
So I don't really know much about Therans.
Yeah.
Or Tannins, I mean.
Yeah, you're not sure. You just know it is. It reminds you of you have a charm from your parents. Perhaps it's the same sort of design from it.
Yes.
But yeah, as you inspect this wall piece, you can hear on the other side footsteps echoing down what appears to be a corridor, and you can't really see it, but you can hear it, and brings you some sense of knowing that there's a way out of here.
So since Trin heard footsteps, she's actually going to pocket her light globe and hide, but try to make her way towards that where the sound was coming from stealthily.
Okay. If you go into the water and roll me, you can roll a stealth check. Go ahead and add an asset for that.
Okay. So then,
mostly because you can use the water as a cover for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I only rolled a 6 though.
That's okay. That's all right. That's fine. So you swim over and more or less under the wall piece with the large demonic design on it. You look upward and see the it's like small holes in the wall, same ones that you were seeing in the ceiling, but these look large enough for you to crawl into, and you start hearing voices, and you can pick up on bits of their conversation. It appears to be a woman talking, and she's delegating to what must be her inferiors. And the lady is angry. There are some unexpected visitors to the island. They were expecting something from one of her new acquaintances. The gentleman who she's talking with has a very raspy voice. And he says, "I told you we should not have trusted this man." And there's an audible slapping sound. She informs him, "Don't tell me what to do. Just do as I say." And she tells him to go ahead and release the beast through the halls.
Oh.
Which
We don't know
none of
any of
us
this.
know
Only
about.
Trin knows.
Because we're in a
I'm
different
the
part.
beast.
Yeah. And of course, Trin has no way of relaying this information.
No,
Yes,
no,
that's true.
that's
Okay.
true. Yes, it is.
That's true.
So can Trin try to climb into whichever hole this sound seems to be coming from?
Yes. She absolutely can. And, sometimes when you're trying to climb and make not a whole lot of sound, it helps not to be soaking wet. Pardon my intrusion.
Okay. Well.
Really, Marcy? Really? With the,
Good.
Okay. Well,
it's
you
really
see,
good,
Trin
though.
is trained in climbing,
Mhm.
but we'll see how this goes. Do I need to make a roll to see how my climb goes?
Well, tell me if you want the intrusion first or not.
I'll take it.
Okay, so you get an XP, and somebody,
One of us won't.
yeah, somebody else gets an XP as well. Your choice.
I'll give one to Fidelix.
Great.
Fidelix.
Great. So as your palms find purchase in the wall, you lift yourself out of the water, and your shadow gets cast from the small pinholes. Go ahead and roll me your climb check.
Okay. Oh, 4.
Beautiful. So you're trained in it though. So you add your 3. So you climb up, and there's just dripping sounds coming from you, little bing, 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 bings, and you can hear the lady above you say, "Do you hear that?" And there's no answer you know of. As you feel something wrap around your ankle and move to drag you down. Roll me a might defense roll. This is going to be a difficulty 5.
Okay, and I rolled a 5. That's not anywhere close.
As this tentacle wraps around your ankle, you are dragged into the water with a splash. Meanwhile, what Trin can't hear is a pause coming from that conversation. Somebody looking over saying, "Must have been nothing." As you find yourself in combat with some kind of beast with tentacles. It wraps around you, dealing 3 points of damage. And that one will go to your might. It's your turn.
Okay. All right. Well, this is not Trin's first encounter fighting a sea monster. She spends a lot of time in the water, and there's all kinds of nasty things near Salo.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got her trusty diving knife. She's going to try to slash off one of this thing's tentacles.
Great.
And that's a 16 to hit.
Excellent. Yep, you deal the damage easily. It takes 2 points of damage as your dagger connects with it. Instinctively feeling pain, you feel it uncoil from your ankle, but you can't really see it. There's a flourish. There's bubbles everywhere. It's it's difficult and it's a little confusing. You knew where to strike because you felt it around your ankle, but now you're a little bit in the dark as it goes to strike at you again.
All right. I'm actually going to try to kick away from it and get out of the water, but kick as an attack as well.
Okay. Before you're able to do that, though, I need you to roll me a speed.
Oh.
Yep, a speed defense roll. Yep.
Oh, excellent. And I happen to be trained in those as well, so that's 6 and 3 is 9.
Ooh, nice. You are just short of getting out of the way of its beak as it digs itself into your side. You take 3 points of might damage once more as this thing finds purchase in you, but it doesn't attempt to constrict you again. It seemed to pull and then try to bite. Maybe there's a pattern to that. It's your turn.
Okay, so at this point, I am going to try to kick attack it, but use that kick to propel myself out of the water as much as possible.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll. This is going to be a might.
Yes. And that's an 11.
Nice. And that's going to connect. I believe you need no weapons.
Yes, that's correct.
Excellent. So I think that's 2 points of damage, or do you have an ability that allows you to choose?
It says that I can choose light or medium,
Great.
and I would use a kick as a medium attack.
Sounds good. And you can do that. You hit without needing to use an asset.
Strong swimmer legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swimmer
I think
legs.
she didn't bite them. There was another time she did.
Yep. You kick this thing, launching yourself out of its way onto the shoreline and start dragging yourself up when you see the tentacles come after you once more. This thing seems to be hungry. Maybe it doesn't get a lot of visitors down here. Go ahead and roll me one more speed defense roll.
All right. And that's 8, 9, 10, 11.
Excellent. This time you're wise to its tricks and you're out of the water and aware of it, which really helps. In addition to being able to see, you scramble out of the way and you are, you know that if you can hit it one more time, you can deliver a final blow to it. And maybe eat some really good calamari.
All right.
Tasty, tasty.
Calamari Cypher.
Absolutely.
Calamari Cypher. You use this to have a tasty, tasty meal.
Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely make one more kick at this thing and see how it goes. That's a 6 to kick.
For your 6. I'm gonna say that hits. It shouldn't, but here's why it works. This thing is out of the water when you're trying to attack it. If it were in the water, it would naturally scope away, but this thing has a bunch of ways to maneuver around. With the 4 more damage you deal to it, you sever a very vital blood vessel in it, and it shrieks as it scuffles back into the water, bleeding out as it does.
Squeaks?
Yeah, it squeaks. It's like a dying squeal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
I get that.
Not disturbing at all. A shrieking octopus.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, not weird.
Yeah.
Not weird at all.
Yeah, this is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Oh.
That was an amazing mini battle. That was so fun.
That was good.
Yes.
Good.
That was good stuff. Let's see our time. Let's go ahead and take a break real quick, and then we'll be back with the next half of getting in, maybe, to this place.
All right.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Yay.
Yay! Okay, and we are back. If you're just joining us, there was a kerfuffle just outside of the entrance into this secret area of Leviathan's Claw, and there is a kerfuffle in an even more secret entrance on the inside of
the secret, most secret entrance.
Yeah, it's the most secret devil entrance you can think of.
There were screaming octopuses involved.
Yeah, screaming octopuses that Trin was fighting. Oh, shrieking, screaming, screeching. These all are very, very like-minded verbs that I would use to describe the guards that the rest of you got into contact with. So when we join the other three, they are hearing the sounds of silence.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Thinking the same thing.
Yeah. It is dark, and it's eerily quiet, besides the sound of the lapping water. Although that's a little bit more quiet, considering there's a little bit of an impediment. Yeah.
So we should. We should hurry up inside. Those code words probably are calling many more guards.
Shall we run in quickly or quietly?
I think they know we're here.
Yeah.
I think, the dude shouted mango, which one assumes is some sort of code word.
Yes.
They know we're
he just
here,
likes
they don't know we're there.
Maybe he just likes fruit. I don't know. But yeah, it seems like, sneaky's always best. We can always unsneak ourselves if it turns out that they already know we're here. And if they don't, we get the drop on them. And that's more fun.
You do have about, while you're searching and waiting for Fiddlix to resurface, you have about that 10 minutes that you spent searching people. You can disrobe them and put on their gear if you want to.
That's smart.
I believe you have 3 unconscious guards that you can do that with. Mm-hmm.
So I would like to not wear it if possible, because Grandma Bhutwali, unless pressed, will not wear some yucky armor.
Okay, now Grandma, and we can do this in character. Now Grandma, I know you don't want to wear it. Are you, sneaky? Can you hide? Or do you just want to walk behind us in full view without a disguise?
I have my robes. I can pretend to be a robed guard.
Just a robed person. Have we seen any robed people?
Not out here, no. There are people.
There aren't enough for all of us, because there's the dude with us as well.
Yeah,
that's why.
there's Hollis.
No, that's true. Hollis is here.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
well, I guess, Grandma,
That's why I meant that.
you can just be a robed person.
You also have your
How that goes.
you also have your 4 other people who are still here. They're awaiting orders. They're unarmored and mostly unequipped for this kind of work, so they're looking to you for help.
I feel like if they can keep an escape route available, that would be great.
Okay.
Because if they can defend this door, so that we know that if things go south, we can run back through this door and get on a boat and get the hell out of here.
Okay, I can see that happening.
They should grab the weapons of the fallen guards.
Smart. Very smart.
Okay. Yep, they'll arm themselves with the weapons. They're proficient in light weapons. It's not going to encompass the spears, but each of the guards has likely a dagger or 2. Very, very simple stuff, just for self-defense purposes. They're not going to be able to use the spears, though. And you do manage to snag 2 of them, and Fiddlix, while you were going down there, if you wanted to snag a 3rd spear from the one on the bottom, you could have done so in that time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Can we detach the lightning component from the spear?
That's a good question. I wonder if you can.
If only Trin had gotten this.
I know, right? I'm gonna try my luck. So I have scanned the spears already in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I know a little bit about them. So I in them while the rest are scavenging and sending instructions, and after having heard Kalia's snide comment about my appearance, I will try and look at a spear and see if I can detach one of the things.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll, and I rolled a 17.
Ooh,
Hey.
Yep, you are able to detach it almost looks like clay or some kind of polymer similar to that, with carvings running through it, and you recall briefly that these seem to light up. The actual engravings light up when it connects with something.
Cool.
So is this a cipher?
It is. It is. It's a level 4 cipher.
Okay. Level 4, and we observed it, so it makes a weapon electrical.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. How big is it?
It's like maybe about this big, and it's got a slot, so you just kind of put it onto the handle near the blade of something.
Cool. So it's like a donut that I
Yeah.
can stick on a dagger to make it a lightning dagger.
Yeah.
If you wanted, and because I have space for ciphers, we can swap ciphers.
That's a good point. So this is interesting. I don't think I brought both my ciphers with me, because one of my ciphers is Steamy, my lovely, like android companion, and I feel like that's too big to just be carting around. You know what I mean? Like, that would be
Steamy?
weird. Yeah, her name's Steamy.
Oh,
'cause
steamy.
she's made of steam.
So you can just grab this weapon.
Yeah,
if
I'm
this
thinking
one-
I'm just gonna grab it. Can
So
I just
level 4, and it makes a weapon electrical.
stick it on my dagger and have an electric dagger?
You have to activate it, and it'll be useful for a certain amount of time, right?
Right.
Mhm.
How does that work, Marcy?
So you would put it on the weapon. Activating it is going to be an intellect task, but then you can use it. You think that maybe these guys had somebody do that for them? Probably.
Because they're stupid.
They're
They're dumb.
they just didn't go to college.
I mean, worst case,
Or
if
trade
you're next
school.
week, I'll activate it for you because I'm smart.
I'm smart too. I'm perfectly
I'm
smart.
smarter.
Ah.
Oh my. So yeah, these.
So I erased it, so you should write it down, Kalia.
Okay, I will put it down.
Okay.
And I call it the lightning donut.
So, am I to understand the three, Kalia, Hollis, and Fiddlix are going to be masquerading as guards?
Not Fiddlix.
Not Fiddlix.
He's a little too short to fit in their armor, but he will sneak around as he is.
Okay. And Grandma is not putting on. Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't do that.
Okay.
I'm in my robes and like the hood of my sari, well, hood, but you know the top part.
Okay.
So sorry, in this little break, can I activate my little? Can I like do my intellect roll to see how this thing works, and then be able to activate it in the next battle?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So I just roll intellect.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to.
Difficulty 9.
Okay, I will roll it. 18.
Nice. Yep, you know exactly how to activate this. You can do so without issue. It's
So Kalia, this is what you do. You put it like
Grandma.
oh, Grandma.
I got it.
Yep.
What a rude girl.
Hey, I just don't know.
Yep.
If you ever need help with something, I'm happy to help you. But like, I know my stuff. I'm good. So you know.
It will take an action to initiate, but it lasts for 10 minutes.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay. So the hallways are dark enough for Fiddlix to reasonably sneak around in. Grandma could attempt to, should her robes be dark and up to the task of sneaking through this place. As you go down the corridors, the four that you brought with you, they're actually going to have two hold back at the closed door. They lock it behind and they're going to tie up that other guard as well. And then the other two are going to follow you to the end of the hallway and stay there.
Give them a code word as well, so if it's us coming back, we'll tell them
Sure.
a code word.
Do you want to let the chat decide what the code word is?
Come on, chat. What's our code?
I saw one that was like fishbones.
Fishbones in the thumb. That was
Fishbones
good,
in the
but
thumb
I-
was.
Yeah.
But I bet I think a single word, a nice
So, it doesn't exactly
One word,
roll
code
off the
word. Come on,
tongue.
guys.
Not mango word.
Pineapple.
believing you, Twitch.
All right, Simon, give us a good one. Wandering Bee.
Go.
All right, take this step. I see you in
Yeah,
there.
come on, Dee. I know you got something.
We rely on you. Our fate is in your hands.
We do. I am the worst at names.
Code word.
I mean, I just say Snickle Fritz is my go-to.
Oh, that's a good one.
Snickle Fritz.
Snickerdoodle, also available if we want a more culinary feel.
Yeah. Maybe all of their code words are different kinds of food.
Pringles.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Pringles.
The more
Pringles.
dangerous the code word, like the more urgent it is, the more fresh the food.
Pringles. Pringles.
I believe it's pronounced Pringles.
Pringles. Yes.
Pablo Pringles.
Pablo Pringles.
Good.
Perfect.
Pablo Pringles.
Wonderful. All right. So code word is Pringles, and they're gonna. What's that supposed to mean for them? That they should hike it back? That they should.
That means
No.
it's us on the other side of the door, that they should open the door.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
Pringles, okay? That's the code word. Pringles.
Pringles.
The door. Thank you. So this is a heavy wooden door with a big window. They're thankful that you didn't take all of the guards' outfits. One of them can wear it and sufficiently stand in front of it and maybe claim they're on
That was
lockdown or
Grandma's plan
something.
the whole
This is
time, okay?
definitely
Oh,
Grandma's
yeah.
plan.
Okay.
So as you go, the door is locked, but you now have a fancy set of keys. You can open that. You can spend some time probably figuring out which key goes to it, and then take the others with you, and leave them with the one that opens this door. If that sounds sufficient. So you head out beyond the door. Beyond the door.
Cool.
You are met with another corridor, this time a larger one. It empties out into a larger hallway. Every once in a while, you hear some footfalls rushing hurriedly through the place. And eventually, you come to a break in the path. One way is... actually, both ways are locked. One to one side, one to another. There is carving on the door in the common Celilian language. One says caldera, and the other one says penthouse.
It's not good at the caldera of like a volcano.
Yeah, I think Penthouse sounds way more fun than Caldera. All
Right.
in all.
Caldera is what it's all about.
Yeah.
You get
I mean, Caldera sounds more exciting,
Yep.
but Penthouse sounds a little more Luke's, and I
Do you
think
have any rings of power to destroy?
Yeah, and
that's for later.
And as you, 3 or 4 rather, because Hollis is here as well, as you 4 are looking at your options here, you start hearing footfalls again very hurriedly.
Uh-oh.
To and fro, doors slamming shut from beyond these.
Quickly open the door and go in. Pick one, Captain.
Penthouse.
Okay. So you You open the door to the penthouse. It takes a little bit to find the keys, but thank goodness you found a guard that, had access to these kinds of things. They're probably only like one or two of them, but you're going to give the guard nearest to the door the keys. So open it up, no issue there. And you find yourself facing up a stone staircase. The stone staircase is carved out of the same material that you keep seeing. And once going up there, you find yourselves facing a larger area now. You go up and there's a break in the ceiling, and by going up, you're going up for quite a long time before you're finally on what appears to be how do I put this? Like a walkway going between guard towers surrounding a large pit. And if you were to keep following around, probably for about, give or take about 5-6 minutes, you would reach a very large, pristine, white building sitting on top of what appears to be this mountain structure.
Wait, what is our mission here again?
We want to free the slaves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah. What did I hire you?
Hollis nearly needs to get some dirt on this woman. If you all want to free some slaves while you're here, that's definitely a prerogative that he will let you do. But he needs information to be able to do the most
that
good.
fancy building looks like a place that would have information.
Yeah, it does. So.
He just wants some dirt on him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys, we can plant some dirt. We can make it look like there's all kinds of dirt here. What do you suggest we do? We could find actual dirt, or we could make up some dirt.
Hollis would shrug and tell you it's a little bit more complicated than that. There's a few things that he also needs to destroy that he thinks she has in her possession.
Do the guard towers look personed?
Yes, they do. In fact, very personed.
Oh, but we're wearing armor and they're far up, right?
Yeah, they are. And as you look up at them, they're looking back down at you. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of suspicion in their eyes. It's more fear, I guess, is the proper word for it.
So if we linger too long, they might be suspicious. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we should just...
All right, let's fall into formation, single file, march on in.
Okay.
Anyone knows any good chant, start chanting.
I, at this point, tell Hollis, because we're both in guard attire, hey, Hollis, you should know. I mean, I'm in disguise, but people have told me that I should tell new people that I'm not a very good liar. Just wanted to... I had... My ex-girlfriend told me that when I'm in this kind of situation, I should say this. Because apparently, I'm not a very good liar. I don't really know what she means, but I just thought I'd let you know.
Hollis looks very regretful of his decisions, but swallows it down.
I pat him on the back like, it'll be okay. We're resourceful, or in other words, I'm resourceful.
Beautiful.
Oh boy.
So, if you all follow along, there are pathways that lead underneath the guard towers with ladder structures going up into them. You can check one of these out and maybe chat up the guards there, or you can keep going on your way to the penthouse. You can also look down into the pit, or perhaps the caldera, as it were, and try to get a closer look at what's down there. You tell me what you would like to do.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Fiddlix would really like to pull an Obi-Wan sneak off and turn down the power generators by going to the caldera if they're going someplace else. But Hollis wanted him for a bodyguard, so he's sticking to close to the party.
What do you think, Captain? I vote guards or building.
I say guards.
Okay.
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 Who is going to go up and chat up the guards?
Felix, for sure.
Fiddlix and Hollis, but not me.
Okay. So Hollis and Fiddlix, you go up. There's a trapdoor at the top.
All right.
You want to give a cautious knock, or do you want to...
There's the cautious knock, or start shouting, "Mango! Mango!" But no, I don't think I'm going to do that.
You could say creme brulee or something and see what happens.
Thick molasses. Yeah, I'm giving a cautious knock.
Okay. You make that cautious knock, and the door opens, and you're face to face with this like sort of gaunt, fresh off the farm guard man. He looks you up and down and looks your friend up and down and goes, "Ain't time for switching yet, is it?"
Time for switching. Past time. Sorry we're late. We'll make it up to you.
Go ahead and roll me a deception.
All right, so
roll.
Was I able to do my advancements whenever? Or?
Yeah.
All right,
Ooh.
so that's what I did. So what I did is I used an advancement in skills, and we'll just explain this for those watching.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, I am now skilled in deception, or specialized.
Specialized.
Yeah, so...
So you get double, you get 2 steps, right?
Yeah, and I rolled I rolled a 16.
Nice.
The guard looks you up and down, and then looks Hollis up and down, and he turns to his friend and goes, "Well, I'm ready for the rest of the afternoon off. Well, that's nice of you. I mean, you're early, but you're persistent." And as he's climbing down the ladder, you can hear him complaining to his friend, like, "Animal think they get to wear whatever they want. Just because they have..."
How mean. I whisper to Kalia, "What a rude boy that is."
Yeah, but these...
I agree.
Yeah, these guards pass you by, and they look you up and down as well, and they point behind them and go, "Well, go on, change with the next one."
And I tell him, I go, "End of shift report. What happened? What happened while you were on your shift? You got to prep us before we take our positions. We don't want to get caught off guard. You know the rules."
Well, not a lot's going on right now. There's not, well, we were supposed to get a new shipment in, hasn't come in yet. Not sure when it's coming in. Lost track of the ship, actually. So not sure when that's going to happen. But other than that, no, everything's quiet in the slave camp down below, and haven't really heard anything else, although there was a bit of mango talk that seems to have quieted down, though. Haven't really... We heard about the... We heard about it, but no details on it yet.
Well, I kind of lean in, narrow my little eyes at him, look him up and down, and say, "You're good, man. You're good." All right.
Okay.
Let's do this.
And
we're to full shift, get a hot meal.
He trots on down, and he's going to pass by you all, Kalia and Grandma Bootwally, along with his friend. He's going to look you up and down, Grandma, and goes, "Man, we're just getting so many visitors lately. You peg about maybe 10 minutes before this guy actually talks to somebody who knows what's going on, and and then that information starts spreading."
Can I try and intimidate him?
If you'd like.
I want to talk to him.
Yeah, what would you like to say?
Because I need a cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pretend to be a rich slave buyer, and I look rich. I have all my hair ornaments, right?
That's true.
So I turned to Kalia, who's wearing a red. I was looking at Red Sky, who's wearing the guard outfit, or guard uniform, and I'm like, "Are all your staff this rude? I don't think I want to buy my slaves from here if that's the case." I like look at this guard like up and down, like he's a maggot on the sole of my feet.
I'm gonna run up and start apologizing profusely. Whoa.
Good.
Yes.
Almost groveling. Fear.
Yeah, running up, you went up a ladder to change places with him, so he went down, but you can still open up the trap door and shout from where you are very easily. Yep. Grandma, go ahead and make me an intimidation check and treat that as an asset.
Nice. So I'm trained in intimidation, and I have 1 asset now, so that's 2 steps. And I rolled a 17 again. That's the second time today.
Nice. This guy starts going pale, and he says, "Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were supposed to be here today. I'm sorry. What was your name?"
Why do I have to give you my name?
So-
I turned to Kalia.
Get his number. Get his name. Get his number. He's got to be reported. I'm so sorry. Get his name. Get his number. You don't need to give him your name. You have your rights. No. Get his name. His number. You don't talk.
I look at Kalia expectantly because she's my escort, right? I'm like, and I just point at this guy, being like,
He goes. So I can give Lady Concordia your name. That you're here and you'd like to buy from her. What?
And I see Kalia freeze up. So I turn back and I'm like, my business with the lady, she already knows about. Your business is to look for intruders, not harass guests.
Oh.
Please go about your business.
Oh, right. Well, my mistake. I'm sorry. He says, and he starts groveling away. He's gonna go. You rolled a 17. He's gonna go as far as to just like slink down and kind of like his soul disappears from out of sight, and his body is shaking as he moves off. His friend accompanies him, not sharing quite the same fear, but is like, you know what? No, he's not afraid. He's actually smug about it. He's like, that's what you get for trying to run your mouth all the time, bro.
I pat Kalia on the back. I'm like, there. You learn.
I get really nervous when I'm actually here. I'm just much better at
I tend
stabbing.
to have that effect on everyone. Don't worry. You learn.
Sure.
But yeah, you all have control of 1 guard tower now. And you've sent 2 guards running.
Should we see what Trin is up to?
Yeah, let's do that. Trin, when last we left you were fighting an octopus and stabbed it to death with your boot heel outside of the water. You're a little bit drier now, and you can attempt to climb back into that hole. The footsteps have vanished. There was an interest in the sounds that were being made, but they probably figured it was just the creature that lives down here.
Yeah.
Lived.
Well, you see, Trin actually got a little beat up with that octopus. She needs to take a breather for a minute before she tries to go back.
And that's fine. How many recovery rolls would you like to use? You can use probably up to the 10-minute one in the time that these guys were going through the corridors and getting up to the guard towers on top of the caldera.
Yeah, I'll take the full 10 minutes.
Great.
What do I?
Well, you can do the action and the 10 minutes if you want. So for your first recovery roll, it's an action. You roll a d6, you add your tier, and then you can split that amongst your pools in any way you'd like.
Okay. And so that's a 5, and my tier is 1 is 6. Excellent. I'm just gonna dump that all into might because I used a lot of that fighting this octopus.
You did. It was a strong thing.
Yeah.
Like beak bit you, right? Like pet bit you.
Excellent.
And would you like to use your 10 minutes as well?
No, actually, I think I'm okay now.
Okay.
That was all I needed.
Wonderful.
So, yes. I think, You said there's multiple of these holes in the cliff wall?
Yeah, there are. Some of them are smaller. You can re-roll your check to try to see if there's anything about the rock that you find particularly interesting now. Maybe that adrenaline rush and getting a little bit more familiar with and touching the rock has maybe triggered something in your memory.
I'll re-roll that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 13.
13 is actually going to do it for you. You, as you're toying around with this rock, it appears to be some sort of volcanic, maybe jet. It's very porous. Something erupted here and left a layer that eventually started eroding in small pools and creating small holes in the ceiling that's letting natural light in addition to holes in the wall that allow you to climb. Furthermore, the sort of demonic thing in the wall, this carving, might actually be the remains of some sort of creature that's actually stuck here. This, I think you can glean that you're looking at a face, like an actual face.
You're like a paleontologist. You found a fossil.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. I think... Okay, so I'm gonna try to pull myself back up to that hole and listen a little more.
Okay. For this, there's... go ahead and roll me a check. I don't think you're going to have an issue with climbing. You're allowing yourself some time to dry off, to heal, so there's no slickness on your end. But if you'd like to be quiet, this will be a speed check.
Okay. Can do that. And that is a 12.
Okay. You climb up the side of the slick jet surface. You don't slip at all, and you make it to that point. And through the holes, you look in and you see a large chamber within. You appear to be looking into a bit of what you can only imagine is how do I put this? Physically, you're staring into the caldera. And you see that there are quite a few people here. The person that you heard earlier is gone. You imagine that person to be maybe even somebody higher up in the chain, perhaps even Lady Akankade herself. But this appears to be some sort of living area, a big chamber that opens up into a village of sorts. And there are holes in the place that you can climb into if you like. But taking a look around, you see some very poorly dressed people that are writing on very crude desks on pieces of parchment. And there is another person not as poorly dressed instructing them. And as you listen in, it appears to be a lesson in etiquette.
Oh, are these slaves being trained?
Sounds like I may have found the room where they store the scribe slaves.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would be a good idea for me to jump right into that room, though. It's full of people, and I think I might stand out a bit. Does Trin know what these items are that Hollis was looking for?
Yeah, he would have given you a little bit of information regarding those. He's In particular, looking for files. He's looking for files that identify other people in his organization, and he's looking for files that also what he's essentially trying to do is fix the paperwork so that it seems like she's doing illegal business.
Okay.
This might be a good spot for that. They might be practicing scribing on that paperwork. I don't know.
Maybe, but it did sound like etiquette lesson.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their handwriting is beautiful, though. If you climb up a little bit higher, you look in, this is like pristine calligraphy. But you also notice that their hands are very scarred, possibly from beatings.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna want to climb back down and look for a different way into the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, you climb back down. You can go into the water and shove off back, or you can look into. You can look around this area. It's not a small cavern that you're in. You can look for a different way.
Yeah, I'd like to walk around the cavern and see if perhaps there's a different entrance into the building that does not lead me into that room.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another intelligence check. Do this for me this time, though, because I'm not going to give you a test difficulty for this. You're looking for another way in. What's the method that you do that? Tell me how you are figuring out if there's another place you can get into.
Yeah, well, like, since the underwater gate seemed like it was used frequently, it would make sense if people were using this as a way in and out. And since all of the slaves seem to be kept in that room where all the holes are, that's probably not the main entrance, unless they've just been regularly escaping through the walls all the time, but you'd think the guards would have figured that out.
Good
so
logic.
Clearly there must be some other entrance that I'm just not seeing.
Excellent logic, and probably a better used one. You're probably looking for a hidden entrance.
Yeah, I'm going to walk along the walls, running my hand along to see if I feel any unusual drafts, perhaps, that might be like a door disguised in the stone.
Great.
Or some sort of mechanism that might open a passageway.
Beautiful. Roll me an intellect-based check. I'm going to obscure the task difficulty of this one.
That was a 16.
Excellent.
Nice.
So, you're going to get an asset on this as well, and here's why. As you're searching, Trin isn't completely dry right now. She's been climbing up out of the water, and that wetness is just the amount of tactile stimulation you need to be able to parse out where wind is coming through. It hits every nerve in those wet palms of yours, and you find a small circular pebble that's probably just a little too polished to be where it is, and your fingers find it and turn it. And the door opens. It's a cylindrical looking passageway that goes after the door presses in and then rolls to the side. It doesn't even make that much of a creak. This is well used and managed.
All right, I'm gonna go in and see where this passage will take me.
Excellent. You walk into the passageway. You note that it's somewhat curved from the get-go. You don't really hear anything. You look to the side as you go around. You note that there are various, and I'm going to carry your 16 or rather 19 over here from feeling the sides of the walls. From the best you can tell, maybe this goes around the site of the caldera, and that there are small windows in the side. maybe to keep an eye on the people within. They're closed right now. You can interact with one and open one. You're crafty like that. I have full faith in your abilities to be able to do these things. And it's quiet down here.
Does it seem like the path leads to anywhere besides the caldera?
It leads around the caldera. There are several offshoots that go to various places. But if you are looking to go upward, about 10-15 minutes into your traveling down this path, you find a door. It is locked as you test it, but it seems to have a staircase leading upward, and the smell hitting you coming from it is very fresh.
Excellent. That sounds very promising. I'm going to try to open that.
Okay. Go ahead and, you choose for me. You can do it intellect or speed. You can figure out a lock that you've seen before, the make and style, or you can just make it entirely tactile. Your choice.
I think I'll go for speed.
Okay. Difficulty is going to be 3.
And I hit a crit.
Ooh, like a good crit or the other kind of crit?
A solid
Bam!
Nice. So here's going to be, you open it. I'm going to suggest for your major boon for this, I'll offer you an asset on unlocking any other locks in this facility. They're all the same make and style. Some of them you might be able to open right off the bat with time. They're all going to be slightly different, but, unless you have another one in mind that you would like.
I like that one.
Okay.
That sounds very useful.
You open it up. No issues there. In fact, the opposite of issues. You're just like, this is for children. Who designed this? As you go through. Let's cut back to our team on the top.
Meditrina is so skilled, I say, just on a whim.
Just like as part of a regular conversation.
Yeah.
Little X is like getting middle child jealousy. He's like,
Oh no!
Oh.
I'm gonna have to do my best to show Mom that I'm worth something.
We can scritch behind Fiddlix's ears.
Careful when you do that. Ooh.
Okay, so you and Dude are in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Where downstairs? Are you guys gonna come down, or are you gonna stay in the tower?
Yeah, what would you like to do?
It's really hard to say because Fiddlix, he'll get into character and he'll be like, no, we're not supposed to talk on the job, and like start actually surveying. He's actually trying to survey the perimeter and take in all that he can from up top.
Fiddlix is a method liar. Wonderful.
Talia is a terrible liar, and therefore is going to leave Fiddlix up being a method liar, and would my goal is to get to whoever is in charge here.
Yeah. Hollis is going to leave you here, unless you want to come with him. You can still make a surveillance check to see what you can gauge from around the area
I want to see what buildings or structures look the most fortified or the most... are there any taller than this?
If Hollis is going in to see Mrs. Whatever, it's going further, I'm going with him. Like, I don't turn down flavor killings. It's hard for me. I don't know. So I think probably if there are other guards around, I'm going to make a terrible lie, like announcing, I don't know, I think maybe they need some more help down there.
What do I roll for surveillance?
It's going to be an intelligence-based check. You could do perception if you have... Oh, what kind of failure?
Well, I got a 4.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be.
I'm going to give you some information that you would have gleaned just by looking around up here, but ultimately you're not going to get more information on what you were specifically looking for.
All these buildings look the same.
They do look the same. You at least get like the obvious of what you were asking for, like the height, the pristine white building that I described before at the top of the caldera. That's the highest. It sits on the actual bedrock of the mountain itself and is built into that place with these sweeping tall like towers as well. That's most definitely the highest point and probably the most fortified as well. And then you look down into the actual caldera. From here, you can actually see beyond some substrate of trees growing into it now. This has been inactive for a very long time. It's still warm. It's still very, very warm around here. But you see sort of an encampment surrounding a lake in the bottom. This is probably where they would call it merchandise.
You gotta go free the merchandise. And then, all right, I'm going back down, following Hollis. Be like, let's scram.
Yeah. Okay.
We should go into the big white building then?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. So you scuttle on down from the guard tower and make your way to the actual building itself. It probably takes about 5 more minutes, give or take, unless you're fast pacing it, to get there. The guards generally leave you alone. They think you're on other business, and there hasn't been too much of a kerfuffle that you've seen. If somebody would like, they can make me an int check as to why this might be.
Sure, I will keep an eye out. Now use my new edge and spend effort and only spend 1 point of intellect.
I got a 12, but I don't know if that's enough.
Beautiful.
I rolled an 18.
Well, let's go with Grandma then.
Grandma's very smart.
Very smart.
So
I spend 1 point of intellect because I spent enough.
The smartest one. So this place is very large. It's probably taking those guards a very long time to get to the other entrance from where they were. Recall that you needed to get into a rowboat, get across a whole field of sunken ships. They would have had to cross on the land side of it all the way over across the shore to the other entrance, especially if they were trying to avoid you. Trin has conflicting information to this, but for some reason that information still hasn't gotten around to all of the guards yet.
Oh. This is so interesting. The bureaucracy of information transfer is helping us. Oh my god, my next god is going to be something to do with bureaucracy.
The god of telephone, the game.
Yes.
Yeah, they know that there's been a mango call because that was the most severe, and you could hear that stuff being called, but they don't know the details.
So good that one of our guard, that Kalia gave one of our peeps the uniform, because he could theoretically tell them, oh, no, nothing was wrong. Someone just screamed like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing that Grandma was too good to wear that uniform. Definitely paid off.
Sartorial choices are very important, you know.
Eventually, you make your way to a set of double doors. These doors are incredibly ornate. In front of them is a guard who is actually dressed in better than a tabard, an actual heavy armor set with the emblem implanted into it. He stares you up and down as you approach.
I stare right back.
Yep. And he looks at the 2 guards who are joining you. And, he could ask Hollis, but I'm wondering if I can intrude.
I mean, Yeah. Like,
So he looks to you, Kalia, and settles in a bit more relaxed than normal, and says, "What's you don't look familiar."
I get an experience.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah,
you get an
and I give
experience.
one
You give one away.
I'll give it to Grandma for, her beautiful sartorial choices.
Oh.
I'm new. Yeah, I'm new.
What's your name?
That's why. Lakia.
Love it.
How long you been here?
Oh no.
A week.
A week.
In behind her veil, Grandma's like rolling her eyes.
Yeah.
I'm a really
Fiddle
bad liar,
spits on the
guys.
ground and rubs it with his foot.
Oh no.
All right. And what you need into this place for? What's your what's the order that you have?
I'm helping this lovely buyer talk to the person in there,
And I just,
whose name is Madame
Ovary.
Kakala.
And I lift my veil and like, I am Madame Akakakakalala.
And I'm going to tell you all about her. And Fiddlix gets right up in his grill and starts jawing. He goes, and I'm using my enthrall ability where this guy
Nice!
can do no actions as long as I keep talking. So what I want to tell you first is that she was born on the 7th moon of the 2nd month of the 39th year. He was the first child out of 73. She's 6'7", and I don't know what that is because I'm just a fox. And then I start rambling. I go, do you know what the colors of her blouse mean? Pride, joy, virtue, virginity. Even at her age, she has 93 grandchildren, never touched a man. And I'm going on and on and on and on. Sorry, guys, I card. I'm out.
Okay. Well. Oh man. That was beautiful. With this concocted lie, what I need you to do for me, Leora, and this is going to be strictly for you. Let's do. It's going to be an intellect based check to deceive.
Sure.
Yep. But you can have 2 assets on it from your friends.
Sure. Okay. I'll spend some effort. I am trying real hard, although it probably doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's going to be for this guy. I'll tell you, it's difficulty 6. He is very suspicious of your story, and
I mean, that's fair.
yeah, he suspects.
Got an asset.
Yeah, he suspects that it might be related to the mango call earlier.
And
That's
he's probably
fair.
a smart guy.
Yeah,
But
he's
I've
one
got
of
an
those
asset
smarter ones.
And another asset
Mhm.
and an effort. So that is a difficulty 3, right?
Yes, that's correct. So you have a better chance than half to pass this.
You have an edge in intellect?
I do not.
Oh, so that's 3 points. Ooh.
That's an 8.
Reroll!
You can use an XP to re-roll that.
Oh, I can, but I love XP. No, I'll use an XP.
I'll let you use my XP.
No, I'll use an XP like a civilized team member.
What a good job.
That was a 5.
You rerolled and got a 5?
Great. This guard stares you up and down.
I told you I wasn't good at lying.
I know, that's why I chose you. This guard stares you up and down, and then smiles at you and says, "Of course. Come this way."
Is he gonna lead us?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's gonna lead you because
I want to erase his memory.
because you don't know that he knows.
No, Kalia whispers back to Grandma, I think he bought it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you also don't know that he knows. He's like a dirty cop. He's
Can I
he's
see
fly.
through deceptions? I'm trained. in
Yeah,
that.
go ahead. This is gonna be a difficulty. This is gonna be a difficulty 5 check.
All right.
The
well,
fox see.
what does the fox see? All right, here we go. So, seeing through deceptions, I get a 13. Need a difficulty of 4. Can I use an effort to reduce that?
Normally, you have to use it
Announce it in
beforehand,
advance.
but
I'll use my XP then.
okay.
I can play by the rules.
I'm
And I'll use my effort this time.
Yeah, I'm being light with those blank asset cards that I handed out earlier because the justification for doing so is heavily based on narrative.
All right. So yeah, let me hit this button again. Nope, even worse. Although I would have reduced it. Yeah, it doesn't matter because I did even worse.
Yeah, this Theron guard is striking you as
No,
extremely gullible.
He's legit.
He's a prey falling right into your foxtrap. How could you?
Stupid Theron. I even say it. Stupid Theron.
And I completely trust our fox to deceive people, so I'm like, okay, that must have worked.
Okay.
I was just trying to see through the deception. I'm like, he's clean.
Yeah, I trust that. I mean, he's a very skilled individual.
This is beautiful. So yeah, he looks at you, Kalia, and says, Lakia, let me show you the way. You're so new. You probably need some guidance on how to get here. He opens
That is so
Thank you
so much.
He opens the door and allows you all entrance into this beautiful landing with these incredible staircases. Same material, but they must do something to them to get that shine. Above this landing, spiral staircases go up into the first tower, and you can see that there are several stained glass and glass ceiling. What are those called? Domes that are just bringing in this beautiful starlight.
Nice.
In these beautiful rainbow colors. And he leads you to a path that goes a little bit further into the area. He's taking you to the central hub of this pristine place. And as other guards stare you down, he gives them one of these things. Oh no, who did we lose?
We lost Leora.
Leora.
Got her.
They got her.
Oh no.
Let's see. Didn't want to go on without her because the beautiful guys. Let's.
Should we go back to?
Yeah, let's go back to Trin. Trin, you unlocked the door and find yourself going up. Yay! Oh no, everyone's different now.
Oh, no.
You're not Fiddlix, you're Leora.
I know.
You're Grandma.
Oh no, I'm
Awesome.
sorry. I got the whole way through without it dying.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Oh geez. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. I messed everything up.
Everything's ruined.
Yep. It's okay. I'm gonna leave you there for right now. And because we're actually about to wrap up. So congratulations, everybody. You have new identities, which is not far from what's going on right now. I just love how everything's matching up.
Yeah.
So this
Good.
let's just keep going with Trin for a moment longer, and then we'll come back to you all. Trin, you go up this staircase for a while. It has a very dungeon-like feel to it as you go up, including several offshoots of rooms full of storage, a few people mulling to themselves back and forth. If you could, for me, roll a stealth check. If you'd like to be quiet, anyway. I don't know how...
Yeah, I think I would err on the side of being quiet.
Yeah.
So let's see how I'm doing. And oh no, that is a 2.
Oh, good.
That's not a number that's hopeful.
That is not a number that's helpful, but it's one of my favorite numbers. I know. So you try to be as quiet as you can, but maybe the same thing that helped you find this this entryway and the way this place was built is the same thing that gives you up as your shoes begin to fill with water and slosh. And you hear the telltale signs of people starting to let on that somebody's out there. And let's see. Let's create another one-on-one Trin encounter. Trin counter.
All right, let's do this.
Trin counter, if you will.
Trin counters, yeah.
So
Yes.
as you're going through, let me just create something interesting here. A doorway opens up as somebody peers out, just curiously, and we'll make this a lady. She is dressed like a guard as well, but she seems a little pale, like she's been down here for a while. She has wide eyes and a wider third eye in the center of her head. And as she peers out at you, the third eye blinks twice. It's on some sort of like different blinking cycle than the rest of her features, and she casts out her hand and says, "What are you doing here?"
Is it a vertical eye or a horizontal?
Ooh, good question. Let's make it a vertical eye. I like that. Yeah, it's just like a big old...
Oh,
Very like a Hindu deity.
that's totally not unsettling. Okay.
All right, Master Teeth. Settle down.
I guess Trin shouldn't be one to talk about.
Yep, but she holds out her arm in front of you and says, "What are you doing down here?"
Oh, hello. I was just looking for your repair room. I'm here to repair some of your electric spears. I heard some of them have been having some trouble with the wiring.
Nice.
Roll me an intellect check to deceive. Difficulty for this is gonna be a little high. Somebody with a third eye might be a little bit more good at parsing out deception. So we'll make this a difficulty 4.
Do you have your special assets or have you used it?
My special asset that I have left is my unlocking asset.
No, your narrative. Unless you didn't.
My narrative
Yeah,
asset.
did you use that one yet?
I do have the asset wherein people do tend to be more inclined to trust me, and I'm a very likable person.
Yeah, you can definitely use that.
Everyone likes Trin.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm relying on natural light right now, and it's getting dark in here. The opposite problem of what I've had.
You're starting to look like Mrs. White from the movie Clue, like sneaking around searching.
Flames on the side of my face.
Flames!
We have the same idea.
Flames up the side of my face.
I'm so glad that we all
Fire.
very important.
You've been sticking events.
Okay. All right. So yes, you get that asset. She's more willing to trust you.
Okay.
So you're at a 4.
Yes. Yeah. Well. Okay. Let's try it. That missed my dice box entirely. And, okay. That is a 10, which is not quite enough.
But did you use your special asset?
I don't know how to use.
Oh no, sorry. It was a 4. It dropped it down to a 3. My mistake.
So
Yep.
10 actually does.
Yes, it does. So she lowers her hand and says, "Oh, thank goodness they finally sent someone. Your clothing is so interesting." And she starts playing with your clothes. "I love the colors. They're so nice. They really should switch up the fabrics, and the black is so out of style. Don't you agree?" Of course you do. And she's gonna take you up. She's got sort of a hunch going on, an older guard, and she takes you up the stairs a bit to another room and opens it up. You are staring in a room full of ciphers.
Oh! Good excuse, Trim. That was really
She does have a key on her that unlocks this room, but of course you have a limit. You can't take so much because the magic will melt your brain, but you could search in this room for a while and find some things. She pats you on the shoulder and invites you down for tea afterward, in case you would like some, because it's been a while since she's had company. Normally tending to this place and like having to go down and keep an eye on the caldera, and then blinks as though to put an emphasis on the pun. Keeping an eye on the caldera can be very exhausting work.
Blink, blink, blink.
Yep.
Yes.
See what I did there? Because I have 3 eyes.
Yeah, she can wink double hard. But yeah,
I love it.
you're left in a room full of ciphers.
Could
God.
Trin maybe find an artifact from here?
Yes, she could. She could.
Yeah, because I currently have 2 ciphers already, and I believe that is my limit.
Yeah, you could drop one here and then pick up another one if you wanted.
Yeah.
Or if you search hard enough, you might find an artifact.
It's true.
I definitely want to search this room.
Okay.
It's possible that I'll like one of the ciphers more, or maybe there is an artifact, or any other of these things that Hollis had us here looking for.
It's entirely possible. Go ahead and make me an intellect roll to search.
Okay.
That's an effort.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? I'm just gonna roll for it, because I have XP if I mess this up.
That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Okay, that's just a 9. Alright, what does a 9 get?
No matter what, you're going to find a cipher because you're in a room full of ciphers. So if you could go ahead and roll me a d6 and then a d100, we're going to look in one of our many cipher books for an item for you.
Okay.
Would you like to look, Marcie, or would you like me to?
If you could look, that'd be great. Let's pick another one out from the strange. I like those.
Cool.
Okay.
This is great. Okay. What do you get in your D6?
So, that is a 6 and an 80.
Okay, so that's table F, and an 80 is water form.
Ooh, that's so nice.
Document for water form. Okay, water form. Roll me a D6 for level, please.
5.
So it's a level 6. It's a level 6. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay. User is transformed into animate water for 1 hour.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Roughly shape herself into various forms, including a semblance of her normal form, but she can also take the form of a pool, a fountain, etc. The user is immune to normal attacks, but likewise the hard time affecting her environment. The difficulty of manipulating items, making normal attacks, and other tasks requiring a physical form is increased by 2. On the other hand, she has an asset on making, smothering, or drowning attacks.
Oh.
Nice.
You just get to sit outside, like, places where enemies walk by and just, like, drown them?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's entirely
god!
possible.
Oh my god.
Drink this.
I say to myself quietly, I'm so sorry, Kalia, as I take off my friendship now.
Yeah.
What does it look like, this form? It says in here, a fantasy form would be suggested to be an elixir.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll let you choose between an elixir and an amulet, a breakable crystal.
I think I like the elixir.
Okay, perfect.
Did it look just like water?
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yep, go ahead and add that to your inventory. It's a shame that you did away with your friend amulet, but don't worry, Karma is going to swoop in soon enough. When you write down that on your sheet, I'm just going to be open about this with you. This shouldn't come as a surprise, and I don't get to be a mean DM very often. Remember that you got to this room by saying that you wanted to fix their ciphers. There's something wrong with this elixir. You'll find out what that is. You'll find out what that is when you drink it.
Oh, okay.
Here, Fiddlix, drink this. All right.
Oh, wait, that's amazing! I love it.
Oh my god.
So yeah, when you drink it, just put down that there's something wrong with it, and you'll discover what
We'll work from there.
Yeah, we'll work from there. You'll discover what is actually wrong. Like, take me to a room full of broken ciphers. Oh yeah, free stuff. So that's
so cool.
So yeah, let's flip back to the other group. You are being led, eventually coming to a very large room. And he leads you into these double doors. They are locked. He unlocks them, opens them up, and you are faced with this huge amphitheater with a large setup in the center. The setup is, it looks like tea time.
Okay. Tea time, TEA, right? Not TEE.
Yes.
Not doing a golf thing.
Yeah, there's no, yeah, there's just like, the green is down there. No, there's just tea and then this amphitheater set up with a ramp leading down to it. There's
anyone there?
No, but he tells you she will be here. This is her favorite room after all.
I look at Grandma and Fiddlix and I'm like, I got us into this. Can one of you get us out of this?
So
how will you ever learn?
That's true. I mean, I can go down there if you want.
Is he making to leave or is he staying with us?
He's staying with you.
Down.
Hang with us.
I will go down and sit at the tea table.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
I want to show him my glaive and be like, pretty cool, huh? And I show him like the little turkey head carved in where the blade's coming out. You see that? I'm kind of spinning around.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Show me yours. What do you got? Ceremonial?
Yeah,
family? Ancestral?
Yeah, he pulls out an arming sword and shows it to you. Heavy blade.
Yeah, heavy blade. You must be pretty strong to swing that thing. Especially wearing all that armor. You lift?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
About 200.
You think you could lift more than me?
Mm-hmm.
Probably. But I kind of size them up and down. Think you could run faster than me?
Mm-hmm.
These steps, up and down. Want to do a race?
I roll my eyes at this masculine posture.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
my goal is to exhaust him before he murders us.
He breathes. Yeah, he breathes very quietly. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check to see if you can get him to run up and down. Difficulty is going to be 5.
The difficulty is going to be 5, so I can lower it to a 4 by being trained. Let's go ahead and drop an effort, lower it to a 3, because I want to run a race with this guy. I'm like a weak little fox too. I'm not
making a comment.
I got a 19.
Ooh,
so that's a special.
Yeah. Tell you what, for your nice thing that you get in addition, your minor boon, he's gonna put his sword to the side. He can't really, he doesn't want to run and damage the sword, so he's gonna put it to the side.
Fox. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you and me. Why do you say 3, 2, 1, go?
3, 2, 1, go.
And then I start about. Is he chasing with me?
Yeah. He starts doing that. He's you've inflamed the need to be masculine in him.
Bravado.
Yeah. You've inflamed him with bravado.
I love this.
This needs to be like the slow motion.
Oh, totally. With like the Rocky theme playing.
Yeah, like the beat, Rocky and Apollo Creed.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Jumping, we hug each other and everything.
That's what we're going for.
Yep. In the meantime, there are servants at the bottom, and they start bringing you out some tea.
I was hoping you'd stop and watch.
I will.
They also watch. Go ahead. You know what? Roll me a might check.
All right.
Oh, actually, roll me a speed check first, and then a might check. Speed is going to be for how fast you run, and then how long you can keep that up for.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and make an effort with the speed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have no hit points by the time this is done. I'm going to need rest.
Well, that's good.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button on my mini button tab. So my speed check, I got it too.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh no. Maybe it's just because you're not used to the certain, when you come on stairs and you're like, yeah, this is going to be fine, but then there's too steep. They're like surprisingly steep for you. That's kind of what happens. So he's gonna beat you, and maybe it's by sheer weight alone. For this beginning part, and go ahead and roll me a might check to keep up, and maybe even you can still win by outlasting him, even though he's bucking ahead.
I'm also going to use an effort in this. I'm going to burn through all my points, then take a heavy breather. Let's do this. So my thing and the mic. A 2 again. What's with this?
Ooh.
Grant, is your thing broken? Maybe it's
broken. Not. I bet if I hit it again, it's different.
Wait.
Yeah, see, that would have been an 8. I got a 2. So
Gosh darn.
I have no speed. I'm embarrassing myself in front of everyone. Fiddlix.
Oh no, poor Fiddlix. This is very bad for Fiddlix.
Yeah, he just had this moment where he felt
I'm dropping to the ground and acting like I'm badly wounded.
Yeah. He runs a full circle around you, and like he laughs. The servants find it very entertaining. Fiddlix,
I'm acting like it's spinal.
Yeah.
Like it's real bad. I'm having a hard time moving.
Fiddlix is so often, acting up. Maybe this is just theatrical for you guys. I'm not sure if his pride is actually wounded, and I'm not even sure Grant knows.
No one knows.
I don't know either.
But he's gonna run a full circle around you, like up and down the amphitheater. He's gonna come back around, pick up his sword, and put it in his belt. And he says, well, I was going to kill you here, but I feel kind of bad for you. And then he's going to back up and close the doors.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to end there.
Oh
boy.
Well,
I'm sure everything's going to be fine.
Everything's fine. And we're in a place much like when we started this session. Trin is still off having Trin ventures. And the three of you are in yet another sticky situation with the news of your likeness and appearance. On
damn.
Swift Heels.
I should have memoried him.
Oh no!
You couldn't have known, and you also didn't. He's a rather good. He's got a good
Smart,
face.
He's a smart dude or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So how was that session, everybody?
It was delightful. I'm very happy.
Fun.
I feel like these characters are very much coming into their own in a wonderful way.
Yeah.
Whew.
I'm sorry.
What a day.
I am so pleased that Trin is getting these weird ciphers.
Yeah, she's just like hanging out in weird Cypher land.
She's got free stuff.
Water transformations, like what?
I'm so excited to see what's wrong with this potion.
Right?
Oh, boy.
And I couldn't have done it without your lie.
I was good on that lie.
It was.
I had a lie planned for like if somebody caught her picking a lock, but I didn't have anything planned for if she was just walking around and somebody spotted her.
So we have our last episode airing next week for this 4-week run, the end of this adventure, and I wonder if it will also be the end of our adventurers.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. As we enter into what might be the worst situation they've ever been in. Or not, I don't know. Grandma's seen a lot.
Well, definitely. I've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah. If you'd like to take this time to, talk about yourselves and plug a little bit of what you're doing, please feel free to.
Let's see.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Mike?
Sorry. If anybody would like to plug themselves, a little bit of what they're up to in the next weeks, any events coming up that you'd like to talk about? Anything for anybody?
I am without plugs.
Without plugs.
I am a plug machine. So hi everyone, my name is Grant Ellis. You can find me on Twitter at WisePapaGrant and on Twitch at Grant R. Ellis. I'm on all the shows. So I'm on the Greyhawk channel Monday nights, Unmade Gaming Tuesday nights, Encounter Roleplay Wednesday nights, WebDM Thursday nights, Off the Table on Fridays. I run my own channel on Saturdays, and then I'm here on Sundays on Money Cooks. And on May the 4th, Star Wars Day, I'm running a special Cypher system 3-part series starring our very own Game Master.
Oh yeah, I'm in that.
All right.
Laura Lania from the Nexus Spiders, Kiana Shaw from Encounter Roleplay, Matt Mercer, the DM of Critical Role,
right,
and Summer Job, who runs Off the Table, and I will be Game Master, and it will be set in the Dictionary of Mu, which is a setting for the Sorcerer system from 2006, updated and revised for Cypher system, and the game is called Life on Mard. So I also should be on a podcast that's coming out tonight from the Lady Slaying podcast, all about world building for tabletop role-playing games.
Cool.
I can do a plug.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to follow my Twitter, which is at Sharang Biswas, because I have 3 upcoming games that I'm working on. One should be out soon. My graphic designer is finishing it off. I mentioned it earlier today. It is a game about revenge and witchcraft, which you play while making a salad and eating it. Should be coming out soon. I've just submitted recently a game to an anthology of 2-player RPGs. It is about a freshman in Wizard University scrambling to turn in a midterm with only 3 days left.
Yay!
And I am, it's hopefully cool. And I am talking with Epidiah Ravachol, who made Dread and Swords Without Master, and where I'm submitting my other 2-player game that I'm working on with my design partner Brendan, and that we're hoping should come out in the issue after next of the magazine World Without Master, and that is a myth-building Bildungsroman role-playing game. So follow me on Twitter. I will make announcements about these.
Very cool.
Perfect. I think that's all we have planned for you this evening. We'll probably do another Q&A session next week after the final episode of this 4-part series. Very excited for this and where we're going to go next. So tune in next week, same time, same place. What happened? We'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching. This was the 3rd episode of the Owl of Lysia on the Cypher System Live Play on the Monty Cook Games Twitch channel. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm stopping the stream now for real.